Welcome to the Jungle, brought to you by Liger Partners. We're talking today with a good friend of mine, Jane Gentry. She is the CEO of Fusion. Very nice little kind of company up in Alpharetta. So thanks so much for coming and spending time with me on this President's Day.
I would spend time with you any day.
So tell us a little bit about what Fusion does.
Fusion is a temporary staffing agency that specializes in experiential and retail. So what that means is anywhere that a customer is meeting, anywhere that one of our customers is meeting their customer in a live environment, we supplement their staff. Retail environments, pop-up activations, experiential marketing activations, sports games, guerrilla marketing, street teams, you name it.
Give me an example of that. What would that look like if I'm thinking about it?
Well, I can give you a couple examples. Okay. So the first one would be we are about to roll out virtual reality. Can I say this?
Pretend there's a company that does.
I'm going to pretend there's a company that's about to roll out virtual reality shopping in 50 markets in the next year to test whether people will shop using virtual reality.
Okay. Yep.
We are the people that are in those stores, in those markets, running that activation for that client.
Okay.
Pretend there's a client that might be launching 5G into the market. That might be in a bunch of self stores all around the country. That is an example of a kind of an activation that we might do. Okay. A big brand in Atlanta might be launching a new soft drink and might be at the Braves game or might be at a Falcons game and be promoting that brand. That could be our people at that event.
Okay. Yeah, so the people at those types of things, because that reminds me, you'll walk through the mall or something and you'll see a pop-up for something that's new,
Yep.
And you've got the person who's trying to entice you to come in and try out this new technology or try this new product. So
yes.
Those are the types of
Yes, and the way that people use our staff is so broad-ranging, right?
Okay.
From anything from handing out pamphlets to actually what I would call assisted selling. Being in a store like Best Buy, for example, with a technology partner. It could be our person, not a Best Buy person, that's in that aisle showing you why you should buy a particular technology.
And those people, I find, it's a really powerful way of doing it. I've purchased a lot of product because of that person.
We're that good, Eric.
That knows that knows the product, yeah?
Yes.
So, I mean,
yeah.
I spent a small fortune at Floor & Decor because there was a representative there
and
who
that's
understood
exactly
the
right.
product.
That is not a Floor & Decor employee.
Yeah, absolutely was not.
Right.
Yeah.
Trade shows is another area where we do a lot of work. We provide MCs, lead generators, presenters for trade shows, models, certain kind of promotional models. So it's a pretty wide-ranging. The places where we work are pretty wide-ranging. But I would say customers who need assisted selling, customers who are doing experiential marketing, customers who are in a retail environment and need supplemental staff in those spaces, those are the places where we generally work.
So talk to me about, so I'm a big brand and I've decided to go to a trade show.
You are a big brand.
Yeah, we are. Liger.
Yeah.
So, and I've decided to go to a trade show or I've decided to roll out a new product. Why wouldn't I just take my people out of the office and have them go do this? Is there some special skill set? Is it that it's too disruptive? Like, what's
It depends on the client. Sometimes it's too disruptive. We're in conversations right now with a brand who would have us going into a big box retailer and basically walking in their monthly, making sure their brand is being represented well, making sure the planogram is clean, making sure the people are on message, the positioning is correct, helping people do what I call assisted sales, right? Helping to train them in the store. They don't have the staff for that. Their people in the market don't have the time to do that. They're doing other things. And it's just a lot more efficient to have us in there. So we train them really well. I mean, part of the training is a ride along with this particular client's own people, so that we become as expert at the brand as their own folks are.
Okay. Yeah. And I would feel like that would be a very different type of training. Like the person who knows how to roll a product out to market may not be the person who knows how to engage with someone at a trade show,
right,
or have that conversation, that face-to-face conversation.
Right. And then right now we're in conversations with a customer for like a combined activity. So it would be a tour launching a brand new product for them. So it'd be a semi going around the country. And then in certain markets, they would have a pop-up activation. After that, tour leaves to continue that experience in the market. So if you think about that, it's pretty expensive to travel tour people all around the country.
Yeah.
So we travel tour managers, and we get people in market to do the activation.
Oh, yeah. I could totally see that. Specifically come to work for a company, and all of a sudden they sell you, oh, you're going to be on the road for the next...
Yeah, no.
No. That's not what I signed up for.
No.
So tell me how, because I know you for a bit.
Yeah.
How'd you get into this?
Oh, wow. Well... yeah, it's okay. Because you know me well. You know when I say it's a God thing, that's what I mean that. So I had a practice for 20 years, doing sales and marketing consulting. Really liked it, loved it. In fact, really loved the lifestyle, and had told a lot of people in my world, you included, I would never work for somebody ever again. I don't think I would play well with others, right? After being on my own for so long. And I don't know, I just had when you run your own business, you get to these points where you're just like, I feel like I'm putting different lipstick on the same pig every day. And it's not, there's just something needs to change, right? Yeah. And, serendipitously or not, I got a call from a recruiter and said, would you interview for this CEO role? And I said, no, thank you. Thanks, though. That's really great for my ego. I appreciate it.
And I think I remember you calling me, and you're like, I just got this call for this thing. Yeah. And I was like...
And she said, can I tell you why you're perfect for this job? And I said, oh, well, I have 10 minutes for anybody that wants to tell me I'm perfect. Hit it.
So do I. So if you'd like to call.
So we got in a conversation. She told me about the company. We're owned by a venture firm that owns several other companies. And I said, no, I'm really not interested in that job, but those guys sound so fascinating to me. I'd really like to meet them. And we are owned by a Christian venture firm. So I was intrigued by how people could live their faith in the world, in the business world, and be successful at it. And I thought, I just want to have coffee with these guys.
Yeah.
Still don't want your job, though, but, thank you. And so I went and had coffee with two of the principals of the venture firm, Ambassador Development Group, and I just totally dug these guys. And so I kept going to another meeting, and I would get out of these meetings, which were, interviews, I guess, and I would get home, and people in my world would say, are you excited about that? And I'd say, no, not particularly. I mean, I'm not excited, right. But I'm not.
You're just you were exploring. Yeah.
And so we had many of those meetings and many long conversations. And I met the folks in the company. Very youthful culture, really fun space. I come from experiential marketing, as you know. And I thought that would definitely not be putting different lipstick on the same pig. Right. What a chance to grow something, mentor people, which is a passion of mine. I've been doing that for 20 years, mentoring and coaching, and really not be a seed planter, which is what I did in corporations. Mm-hmm. A lot of times, that we get into companies and we plant a lot of seeds, but we're not necessarily there long enough to harvest anything.
Right.
And I thought, what a great opportunity to actually see the fruit of the effort that I'm putting in. Mm-hmm. And so and they've given me a ton of rope to hang myself with. So, I mean, I was wide open, right?
Right.
What I'm allowed to do. So I just thought, I asked myself the same question that my accountant asked me when I started my company. What's the absolute worst thing that could happen if you fail at this? And I thought it was a fun opportunity, and I was really up for some fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're a fun person, so I could see. and careers do go through those ebbs and flows. You have a time where you just want to be the person who comes in, and then there are the times where you're like, I need to see something, right?
Yeah.
I need to something. So that's the time you're in with your
And
career.
those poor people at Fusion just keep seeing me blow up department after department, no, we're going to do this differently, no, we're going to. So I think it's exciting for them too, but I'm not sure if they're excited about it as I am, all the changes. It's a different kind of excitement, maybe.
Yeah. And your background getting into experiential marketing, you were an actress or is the proper
My
word
first
is
career
actor,
was as an actress. You can call me.
Whichever, yeah.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's it shows kind of that transition. So there's, starting with one career. I tell people I'm on my third. This is the third kind of iteration of what I've done.
Actually, this would be then my third career.
Yeah, third career. And so future for Fusion, what do you see?
Is exciting. We are, one of the things that I've been doing there is to really kind of dive into what is the talent there? What are the skill sets there? What gifts and skills are there that aren't being leveraged? Mm-hmm. How can we elevate the way that the company works? And we're in acquisition mode. We're in the process of merging another staffing company that we bought that specializes in trade shows, called J. Williams. That'll be done by 2021. I don't know what our next acquisition is going to be. My sense is that it's not another staffing company. We're pretty good at what we do. Fusion's 27-year-old company. So from a tactical perspective, from a foundational perspective, the company's pretty solid. We have an amazing ops team. And so we're looking at where are the markets where Fusion hasn't been leveraged in the past, where we should be, where we have that kind of talent, and they're located all around the country, right? How should we be leveraging them differently? How can we create opportunities for them to be employed longer? And one of the interesting things about the staffing industry is that a lot of the staff in the field work for multiple companies. So there are W-2 employees, but we're not the only company that they work for.
Right, yeah.
So part of the strategy of a staffing company, in my opinion, is what do we do to get the best of the best? And how do we make people that are great become the best of the best? How do we help invest in them and train them so that we can do some of these, what I call kind of higher order activations? It's a very different skill set, assisted selling, than handing out flyers.
Right, absolutely, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we want to be at that high echelon of the kinds of talent that we provide our customers.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that you're coming in the way that you have, sort of as almost quote unquote, I'm going to say an outsider, is you have the opportunity to take something and turn it on its head. So think about it differently.
I came in, I had no expectation about the industry other than, what I know about experiential, but I had no expectation around the staffing industry. But that I'm a very strategic person. That's what I got paid to do by my clients, is to help them think strategically about their customers and how they engage their customers. And that is the process that we're in the middle of at Fusion.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And so kind of one last thing, as companies think about using an organization like yours, what are some of the cautionary tales? Like how do they know that they potentially how they make that choice?
Yeah. So coming as an outsider, one of the things that I found super fascinating was that I saw a lot of agencies and companies really thinking about the staffing component as kind of the last box to check off of their to-do list. We were not early on getting invited into any kind of strategic conversations about what they were trying to accomplish, what was at stake for them, in terms of meeting those objectives. How would our staff help them achieve those goals, or where would be the kind of the danger points that we should be looking out for? It really was so tactical.
Yeah.
And as an outsider, I was baffled, continue to be baffled by that, because when you think about it, Eric, there's all this effort that gets put in on the front end, market research, find out who our customer is, where they are, all the creative pieces to kind of meet them where they are, figure out how we're going to engage them. And then for me, the most important thing, which is where the rubber meets the road, and that individual is eyeball to eyeball with your customer, that was being treated like a tactic.
An afterthought.
And I'm like, that just does not make any sense to me, right? So part of our goal is to help customers to see that we add a high value as you're building out that strategic piece and thinking about who are the right people, what's the right way to train them. How do you think about things like, we had a customer the other day say, boy, we've been in this activation a long time, and it's really confusing me because Eric was so awesome early on, and now he's kind of, to be super technical with you, And
that's a Jainism, by the way.
He's just kind of wilting. And I said, I used to do, I worked at an amusement park when I was in college. I sang in a saloon in an amusement park, 6 shows a day, 6 days a week. And I can tell you that show number 6 and show number 600, big difference in energy, right? Have you thought about the fact that these folks are fatigued and we really need to change them out a little bit? And she said, wow, I never thought of that. So, and that's such a simple example. But when clients bring us in on the front end, we just had the thing I was telling you about, the mysterious company with the virtual reality, right? Yep. They laid out their schedule for us when we were building out the strategy in the beginning. We were bidding on the business. And our team said to them, you are overscheduled because the people that you said that are your customers, they're not in the stores on these days or at these times. So what we would say is you need to shift your schedule and, double up over here and go dark on those particular days. And I think they gave us like the proverbial pat on the head because
you're cute.
They work with a big retailer, right? So they're thinking, oh, bless your heart. You're so cute. And then in the startup meeting a few weeks ago, they said, by the way, we tested that thing that you said, and you know what? Our customers aren't in the store on those days or during those hours. And I said, oh, you're kidding me. Were you shocked by that? They said, no, but we just wanted you to know that we validated what you said. And I said, you could test us anytime you want, but we know what we're doing.
Very nice. Very nice. So getting a seat at the table earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for joining me in the jungle.
Well, that was easy.
It was easy. You got to talk about yourself. It's the best thing. Anybody can come on and talk about themselves. And so we've been talking with Jane Gentry. She's the CEO of Fusion. And if you need any information, you can find it in the show notes. And thank you so much for joining us. You've been listening to The Jungle from Liger Partners.